Facebook, what's going on? What's going on? Man, we live. We live once again. Speak on it. Speak on it. Speak on it podcast, man. With myself, DJ Black, and Jay Austin, man. We getting it in. We moving around. We making things happen. It's been an interesting week, and we gonna speak on it this week. I just want to thank everybody, the viewers. As everybody come on, we just want to thank everybody that's been listening to us to this time. Hold on, please. 1 second. Yeah, we back. Had to get some things straightened out, man. We got an interesting week, man. I want to start off and kick this thing off, man, with some entertainment news and sports news, but entertainment news. We all know WNBA star Brittany Griner is still in Russia, in a Russian prison. She was indicted. She was convicted of possession of some vape cannabis oil in Russia and was sentenced to 9 years. Um, she came up for appeal and was denied her appeal. And the Russian government said that they would credit her the days she's been in there. And once they credit the days she's been in there, because she's been in there a little over close to a year, they're gonna credit those days a day, 2 days for every 1 day, or a day and a half, and it's gonna go out to 3 years. Well, 8 years. So we're gonna need to keep that informed with you in the developments and let you know what's going on with Brittany Griner. We're gonna keep her, you know, in our prayers, and and hopefully they can get her home. Right now, they're in kind of negotiating. They're waiting for the White House to kind of do some negotiating. They want to do a prisoner swap, but right now, Russia is at war with Ukraine, so we don't know what's going to happen. But we praying for her and her family. She get home safe. Also, man, we heard the news about Kanye West. Kanye West made some incendiary or some offensive remarks about the Jewish anti-Semitic remarks. Allegedly, he made about some anti-Semitic remarks about the Jews, and as a result of that, you have a lot of companies. You had the companies that he was doing business with to cut ties with him. Kanye West he was rumored to be at $2 billion, or his net worth was right at 1.6, 1.8, close to 2 billion. It's been cut in half to about 400 million right now. Adidas cut ties with him. Balenciaga cut ties with him. Recently, today, he tried to go into the Skechers store and with the Skechers headquarters, and to find a new home for his Yeezys. And they escorted him right out. Elroy, another store that Kanye West was doing business with, has cut ties with Kanye West over the remarks that he made on Drink Champs about the Jews, and what their control over media, their control over the music industry, and their control in the world. Personally, I don't think he was lying. I think that Kanye right now just need proper guidance. You know, a lot of Negroes, they're going to say, well, he did it to himself. He did this, he did that. You know, Kanye should have kept his mouth shut, you know, to that effect, because you messing it up for yourself. You got to that point, now you messing it up and throwing it away when you got into business with them and you got up to $2 billion. That's some of the sentiment that we feel that we just should be quiet when we get to that level and take the level of abuse that we sometimes take, or the experience, the level of racism that we experience on that level. When we get to that level, hey, we got you some money, nigga. You need to just shut up. You a basketball player. You're a basketball player. You making $100 million. If I call you a nigger, you just accept it. I'm paying you. You just dribble and shut your mouth. You don't supposed to speak on political issues. You're supposed to just be quiet. So Kanye West, he's making a statement, and we're gonna go with the developments. A lot of people saying his career over. I don't think so. I think that Kanye West is genius enough. If he can make shoes, if he can make these products and anchor those to Adidas, he can do it for himself. He just got to have the right organization and right people. In 2022, you can make you some money with this product Yeezys. You can do that yourself. You want to attach it to a brand, you made your own brand. You're strong enough to make the brand. Michael Jordan was with Nike at one time. Now he has his own Jordan brand. So it's possible to do. Kanye West is smart enough. He's intelligent enough. So I think that he's a man that will conquer all. I know when he made the Yeezys, and I seen the design, I didn't understand the design. I was like, man, those designs is kind of, you know, out the chain. So I was, you know, kind of skeptical. But his ideas work, and he was able to see it and, you know, move around with the idea, and he made it happen. So I can't get upset with Kanye West over the ideas that he have. You know, it's incredible that Kanye West is doing the things that he's doing, and I got to respect him for the things that he's doing, and it's an awesome thing that he's doing what he's doing. So much respect to Kanye West. Tonight, man, we're going to talk about man, women and their difficulty to follow men that lead, or have a problem with men leading the household. They say they want a good man. Jay, what's up, man?
Yeah, what's going on with it?
Hey, we having issues with Facebook. So really, we running. Facebook is not popping up right now. So that's not happening. So we only can deal with what we can deal with right now. So and the streaming platform said that they fixing the problem, but that's the issue that we got right now. But you were able to get on, correct? Well, evidently you was able to get on because you're on now. But that's what we're working with right now. So that's what's happening. How was your week, man?
It was straight. I
Yeah,
mean,
for sure.
no issues, problems, or concerns that
Yeah.
to deal with. So, yeah. How was your trip to the crib?
Man, it was cool. I had to go ahead and take care of some business, man. I almost got slid on. But I took care of the business, and I slid up and surprised them. And they didn't know I was coming. They was trying to um, uh, get my vehicle and taken away from me when I paid it off. And I was able to kind of make the move to kind of halt that. Hopefully, you know, all the process it pans itself out. What's up, Black?
What's up? I tried to catch you talking about
No,
Kanye. What happened? What happened with old Kanye?
no. Let me cue you on this, and I'll tell you on that. But Facebook, we having an issue with Facebook. So Facebook is not allowing the broadcast. So it's not happening on your page. We only got
I thought I saw it on my page.
No, it's not on your page.
I thought I just looked at it. Hold on.
No, it's not on your page.
I'll copy and put it on there. Hold up.
Yeah, you have to copy the raw link and then put it, face it out. Yeah, but anyway, Kanye West,
It's on my page.
It's on your page.
Uh-huh.
I just can't see it. So I'm not able to see it. But Kanye West made some remarks on Drink Champs that was disturbing to the Jewish community, and they severed ties. Adidas severed ties with him, and Adidas severed ties. Elroy severed ties with him, and Balenciaga severed ties with Kanye West with him now. Now his just announced his basketball team was disbanded and kicked out of this league that he had. So they kicked him out of that. I didn't know he owned a basketball team, but that's what's happening with him. So he's going through it right now, but everything works for the good. I believe that everything is going to work for the good. Kanye West been in positions where people laughed at him about what he was doing, but he was able to, pull out of it and reach the billionaire status. Now they say due to the deal with Adidas taken away, that obliterates his deal over $1.5 billion. But we look at Adidas stock, it fell $50 to $50. I think the stock was $50, $150 a share before they departed with Kanye. Now that they departed with Kanye, the shares then dropped to $50.
Actually, the shares dropped before the Kanye thing. It was dropped.
Okay.
Yeah, it was dropped before that. And my thing with Kanye, he always putting his foot in his mouth. He self-destructs himself, trying to keep himself relevant, saying a lot of things, just running off at the mouth. So it's more of a self-destruct thing to me.
Right.
Yeah, he's a genius and all that, but he talked too much. Sometimes it's best to just shut the fuck up. I'm just keeping it real. Sometimes you just need to be quiet. And he's self-destructing. Yeah, he can bounce back, but at the end of the day, he said what he said. And like I tell people with words, you can't take words back. So you have to choose them kindly. And at the end of the day, what they prove to him, no matter how much money he got, no matter how smart he is, no matter how genius and all that he is, he's still a nigga.
Yeah, of course.
So
that's proving the point, and he's showing before the world. But I was saying also, well, what he has, those are his products that he created himself. He didn't get no ink and stamped it. He took that material. Right now, he's able to do 3D printing of shoes. So he's 3D printing some boots that he had. He was showing some, and some investors. So the ideas and the things that he still can move with it. He just have to learn how to say things and when to say things. Now, what he's saying, truth out of season can be a lie on time. So we have to learn how to use our mouths at a certain time. But I don't disagree with a lot of things that he said. A lot of things was the truth, but some things he said, like I was telling you earlier, we like your brothers. You got your uncle in the family that come over on Thanksgiving and talk, and you got to tell them to shut the hell up sometime. So and that's what Kanye with the George Floyd remark, with the slavery remark. That don't give me the decision just to throw them away. I just want to see what's gonna happen and what's gonna unfold. And
just like with the Britney basketball chick, issue. My thing is, if it was just a common person over there, they'll rot in jail. Why is such a big fuss about trying to get her back, man? You do the damn crime, you do the time. You know, so I don't. It's just a lot of stuff I don't agree with. You know what I'm saying? I don't agree with it. Do the time. You do the time. You do the time. You do the crime. I think Grizzle having technical difficulties, but yeah, that's how I feel. Welcome, is that Fat Boy? And what's up, Austin? I didn't speak to y'all. What's happening with you?
What up? What up? What's the deal?
Everybody over here tripping on this Kanye losing so much money, and he got 400 million, and I'm like, hell, niggas ain't even making $40,000 a year and worrying about Kanye. I ain't damn Kanye.
He got the money to lose.
Thank you. You know what I'm saying?
He ain't bothered. That's why he can say what he say.
That's why he say what he say. Yeah, you know. And yeah, and that Britney chick. My thing is, she ain't have no business doing that shit no way. You know, I call a spade, and I always been like that. So
That's
like,
the
if I'm hanging
basketball
with
chick, right?
somebody, if I'm hanging with somebody and they got effed up ways, it is what it is. I don't take sympathy. Oh, that's your cousin, that's your brother, that's your grandmama. Grandmama crackhead. Grandmama crackhead. She shouldn't be doing crack. If she ashamed of that, don't do it. That's just me. I never been a, oh, don't say that, that's your cousin. If my cousin effed up, he just an effed up individual.
Yep.
My
Right.
brother, if I'm messed up, I'm just a messed up individual. I learned to own up to the fact. I stopped trying to be perfect shit years ago in my 20s. I stopped trying to be perfect because people was messing over me saying, oh, my bad, and things, but still I got messed over. So I say, well, hell, I need to stop being perfect. And when I stopped trying to be perfect, man, my life been great because I'm able to mess up and then just tell them my bad. You know, that what you told me.
Stop trying to please everybody.
Yeah, they didn't try to please me. So
yeah, that's kind of my biggest thing. I always trying to please somebody, friends anyway, family and friends.
Yeah, they'll mess over you in a heartbeat and come with that my bad. My bad, man. I'm sorry. I ain't no sorry, didn't do it.
Right.
So that girl went over there, knowing what she was doing was illegal. She got caught.
That's the basketball chick, right?
Yeah, the little basketball chick.
Yeah, she probably did it a couple times and just got caught this time. I mean, if it was certain basketball men, I mean, it probably would have. They would have let them sit. Probably.
Oh yeah. Russia don't play about drugs. I think it's somebody over there from Canada. He had a couple pounds of marijuana. I think he's doing a life sentence over there.
Golly.
So they don't play. They don't play around. One of my brothers, he was in the Marines, and he told me, he said, man, they brief you on the customs laws. They brief you on the things before you step on these people's shores in their countries. You got to respect that. You can't be a nigga all over the world. Being a nigga and carrying those nigga ways gonna get you in trouble in these other countries. But what you do in America, you can't do in other countries, and it can get you caught up.
Right.
I think what they really fighting on is just getting her home. Okay, she's guilty. They found the vape, the oil, cannabis oil, but you know, that's Russia, and then they got a war going on, so we don't know what's on Putin's mind. You know what?
And that she should have thought about that more, knowing what's going on in the world, and then you go over there playing with them people like that.
Yeah,
you take a chance when it ain't this other stuff going on. If you're gonna take a chance,
right? That's right, man.
So yeah, so I got mixed feelings on that. I mean, I wanted to come home, but then again, if I was over there and I did the same thing, would I be coming home?
Nope.
Probably not. Cause ain't nobody gonna speak up for you because you're regular. But being that she a famous basketball player, or you know, and they gonna have the same information. American DJ got caught with such and such, and then boom, you gonna be known to the Americans, but ain't nobody gonna fight to really get you back.
Right.
They probably won't even say nothing.
Yo, I feel like they'll say something because they gonna have an American citizen over there.
Yeah,
No, he's
they
not
got me. They'll say,
affiliated. He's not affiliated with the
they'll
military,
say a
black
because they
male.
got social media and stuff. They'll say popular DJ in Louisiana, then from Louisiana is locked up. They did that when I want to say Polo or somebody got locked up. They had to let them know, and I got enough social media and events under my belt. They'll say that.
They'll let it, I feel like they'll let it be known, but
Ain't no help.
they not gonna they ain't gonna fight for you like that unless Black, you know a couple big wigs too. So if
Right.
you hit your big wigs up or your big wigs find out, they may try to push for it, but they may not have enough clout to do what's going on now.
Yeah, because like you say, with the war and everything going on, but like that, she ain't had no business. She ain't had no business over there. You know what I'm saying? Doing what she did.
Yeah,
So
you got to move.
That's
You got to
like
fade. I'm sorry.
You got to move different. You got to move.
Yeah, that's just like knowing the feds in town and you still doing what you're doing.
Yeah,
like, it makes no sense.
Yeah, and then breaking news. I just want to add on breaking news. What Brandon Landers, the head coach of Carroll High School, and his 8 coaches, they got suspended for the rest of the 2022 season.
And he needed to.
And Franklin Parish. Now, for those that were there, I have to get the solid facts on what happened. But they said it was an altercation in the press box, and the police were telling them to leave. We don't know what led up to that. I don't know what led up to that. But he's been.
Well, my thing, all I got to say is on that, and Fat Boy know too. When you in the sports and you a coach, you have them students that's looking up to you, the parents. You have that whole city got your back. You got to move different. He should have taught them discipline. I don't care what they was doing. I understand self-defense. But if it's self-defense, let my bench come on there and do that self-defense. I'm not going to have my whole team out there, and I'm not going to get involved. I'm really like, I need I'm going to say 15 starters. I need my 15 starters chilling. Y'all the ones who riding that bench, y'all get on there and act a donkey. But my main people and myself, I'm finna be in the back chilling, telling them to chill out. So when they trying to suspend me, they'll say, well, he was trying to keep them back. I have somebody in my corner, but if I'm just letting it go haywire.
So what really happened? Did the teams just clash? Or
We don't really know. We just seen the video go viral, and it was real ugly. He Phantom had it on his page, and it got bad.
Yeah, according to what was said is that Franklin Parish was losing. We know that Carroll got an undefeated record right now. They were Franklin Parish was losing. It was an altercation. Whatever was happening in the press box, I think the coaches couldn't get inside the press box, and they got into it with the officials. But I don't have the facts on that. It'd have to be somebody that was there to kind of go
right.
back and forth with
them.
So
if you were there and you watching this podcast, we need you to tune in because once again, I got mixed feelings on that. I feel like the coach,
because a lot of the time,
control his team.
A lot of the time, if the coach is into it with a team, a lot of the players gonna get behind their coaches.
Right.
I mean,
he didn't. According to the video, for what I saw, he didn't hit nobody. He was trying to break it up.
Yeah.
And what happened is that the sheriff, Franklin Parish sheriff, grabbed Brandon. From what we seen, what everybody saw, he had his hand up. He was like, "Hey man, I'm not here to do anything." I'm trying to get my coaches. I'm trying to get them together to see what's happening. And he grabbed him, and they grab him. Then everybody else came around him so they could protect Brandon, but Brandon wasn't. He didn't. So I'm gonna be clear on that from based on what I saw with my own eyes. He didn't throw no punches. He didn't do none of that stuff.
That sounds about right.
The people jumped on the security people.
No.
When they grabbed Brandon.
No, the police officer was sheriff was trying to grab Brandon, and they was trying to break it up like whoa. It wasn't no hitting or jumping or fighting or nothing like that. They was trying to pull them apart from each other. Like, nah, man, he didn't do it. He was trying to tell him, hey man, I didn't do anything. And that's what that was. He didn't throw no punches, he didn't do none of that stuff. So he was trying to get control of his coaches.
I wish you would have had that video queued up where you could have played that video, shared the screen, because like I say.
Okay, hold on.
Go
ahead and talk. Hey,
it got crazy from what I saw. It got crazy, and I also know that a coach should have discipline on his on his players, just like back in the day when the Detroit Bad Boys jumped off the bench and jumped on some team they were playing. I forgot who they were playing, whether it was the Knicks or somebody. But they jumped out there and all the starters jumped on them, started fighting and carried on, and all them players got suspended. And it messed their year up because they were hot that year. And the fact that the players got involved, the starters came off the bench. So as a coach, you should have more control.
Yeah, you should, but at the same time, in football, being that it's an emotional game, and you got a coach that's to a lot of the kids, he is more of a father figure to them, so to speak. So you grab him, or another coach try to hurt him. They discipline if they undefeated.
Right.
But they let their emotions get involved at the time. Not saying I condone it because I don't know the situation.
Right.
But it has been times, even when I was playing ball, situations when a kid saying something crazy to Tip or Brad or anybody. Hell, we had a whole fight at Washington one summer. We had coaches right there with us.
Yeah,
it was a few coaches right there with us, but that gave that camaraderie.
Camaraderie, yeah.
That camaraderie, like, I got your back. Now you have mine, but at the same time, we still got discipline afterwards because they taught us respect. But behind our coaches, all that kind of flew out the window with us.
Yeah, and we don't know if he was provoked. We don't know if the team was provoked. We don't know the whole story on that.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm because I got the video. So I do have the video. If they haven't pushed it, you know how they push it down.
Right.
But yeah, so we gotta, in Brandon, Brandon is loved. He loved in the community.
Right.
So people got his back. The G's got his back. So
he's suspended for the rest of the year. The team undefeated. We just gonna hope that didn't take the heart of the team out. Let's just hope that they say we're gonna stay undefeated. But we're gonna do this for Brandon.
As a football player, and my coaching got suspended for defending us, man, they finna go wild. Not go wild as in.
I know what you're saying. They finna bring
they'll mess around and win a state championship for Brandon. They behind him. Cause he showed that he really had it back. To some it makes no sense, but to some it does, cause he the father to a lot of kids that ain't really his blood.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
He showed that protection. A lot of kids that want that protection show that support. So he showed support, and he put himself out there to show that how far he'll go behind him, whatever the situation is.
That's real.
At the end of the day, he basically was getting arrested, and with the crowd bum rushing the officers or whoever, he's still a hero in that situation.
Yeah.
Whatever the situation is, that's from the looks of it.
Right. Right.
Okay. Let me see.
Play it right quick, and then fix it where your screen is wide and it's not showing all the other.
Yeah. Let me.
I just want to see that right quick, and then we'll get back on the topic.
Yeah. We'll go from there, and just appreciate everybody for doing that.
But yeah, I hate he got suspended like that because we don't know what that's going to do to the team. But hopefully the team will be able to bounce back and do that thing. Shout out to Carroll High School. I know they have some hype homecomings. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, they be loose.
Yeah. Let's see. Could y'all see it?
Yeah, but try to make it where it's wide. Click on the bottom. Is that as big as you can get it? I just want to see right quick. Let Austin see it. But if that's as big as it get, that's cool. Just run it. Okay. But you have to click on the bottom. That little.
Yeah. I am. I'm finna set it up. I'm just setting it up. All right.
Make it wide.
Yeah, y'all saw it.
Yeah, they shouldn't. I don't think that was cause to get suspended for the year.
No,
but probably about 3 games.
Yeah,
but let's just be glad that didn't get deadly like the one that happened in was it Dallas?
Yeah, they take football very serious here in Dallas, bro. They
that one ended up deadly. It was a similar situation to that, but it ended up deadly. So
they take it serious here, bro.
Let's just be glad that
that's serious. Yeah, man. And he was trying to talk to his coaches and say, hey, man, let's step out. The guy, the dark skinned guy, that's the principal, my classmate. He was there as well. That was the principal, Eric Davis. And they trying to just get everybody to chill. And that's what that was. Now, what led up to it, we now I just got another live, but we'll go ahead and move forward on what we got going on tonight. Folks, what we got, Black?
What's the topic of the evening?
I didn't hear you.
What's the topic of the evening?
Man, the topic of the evening is why it's so hard. Why most women say they want a real man or husband, but want to fight against when they want to lead in the home. Why is that? Why is it so hard for women?
They want a leader, but they don't want a leader, right?
They want a leader, but they don't want a leader. Why is it for women say that they want a real man, but when they get one, they fight against that? Like
Prince said in one of his songs, he said, "You say you want a leader, but you can't seem to make up your mind."
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. He said that in Frank.
Jay, we're gonna
want somebody to lead them, but they don't want to make up their mind because they want a leader, but they want to do what they want to do when they want to do it.
Right.
And when you following the leader, sometimes you have to abide by certain rules, because if that person's a leader, they're gonna make sure you're out of harm's way, but they're gonna come with some type of structure.
Right.
And a lot of our women today, because of social media, single friends, family members, they don't want that structure, because with structure gonna come discipline, so to speak. And a lot of women don't like that word discipline. They don't like that word structure. So that's where, you know, I feel like we lose our women because of those terminology, the wording. And I know Austin chooses his words wisely because he agrees with a lot, but he has different terminology. So what would you say a better word to use besides a better words to use for a leader when it comes to being the protector, provider, and leading a family or his household, his wife, his woman, his fiance, his future?
Well, I mean, I don't believe in using the words rules or discipline. What I would agree to use is compromise, discussion, agreements. Those are the terms that I would prefer to use, because we're all grown at the end of the day. So I can't discipline my wife, girlfriend, fiance, significant other. So that's out the question. I'm not going to make rules for her, but we can have discussions and we can come to some conclusions on what we will accept or would not accept in our relationship. So that's where I am with that.
So as a leader, should one lay down boundaries? I mean, if you're the leader, what is your role? What do you do?
Well, your role as a leader is to help in making decisions, or you make the final decision. But again, that's based on your household. So as a leader, you set the example of what and how you want your household to be. So if I'm not going to ask my spouse to do anything that I'm not willing to do. So if you're not doing it, I'm going to, if we made an agreement that when we're away from each other, we'll text when we get to our location. If you're not doing it, I'm still going to do it. And then I'm going to remind you, say, babe, you know, this is what we said that we were going to do. So, yeah. So you lead by example.
So you fall under what we were taught. Do your part.
Yeah. I mean, you do your part.
If y'all agree, when we get to our destination, we send each other a text. I made it. So you leave the destination, you text and say, hey, I'm about to leave. I'll be home in a few. And if the other party doesn't do that, you still do that when you do it. Yeah. And then you eventually bring it to her attention or whatever that you didn't do that or you're not doing that.
You don't eventually.
And what if she say, well, I feel like,
bring it to their attention.
What if she say, well, I feel like I told you where I was going, so I didn't feel like I had to text you when I got there?
No, that doesn't work because that wasn't the agreement. So what's really going on? What's the real problem?
That sounds like a rule to me.
No, that's an agreement. You have agreed to do these things. This is what you both agreed to do. I didn't say.
So she said, well, I don't think I want to do that anymore. Yeah, I said I'd do that, but I don't want to do it anymore.
Okay, so then you have to make a compromise and decide if that's something that you agree with or you don't agree with. and then whatever falls out of that conversation, then it falls out of it.
Because you know,
And you're left with a decision. You're left with a decision to make.
because you know, a lot of women feels like that's too much. That's too much.
No,
I mean, some of them, like I say, once you're in a committed relationship, it's nothing. But it's fine. But let's just say you bring it up though. They forget once or twice. And then when you bring that up though and say, well, hey, when you went to this place, you didn't hit me up, and then 2 weeks ago you went to such and such, you didn't let me know you was there, you didn't let me know when you left. Women feels like when you're being the protector, because the only reason you want to know they're there is that they made it safe. The only reason you want to know when they leave is that they left safe, and you're calculating their return. But a lot of women see that as control. You're controlling. You're treating them like a child. I told you where I was going.
If I'm doing the same thing, how am I being controlling? If this is something that we agreed to do, how am I being controlling?
And that's the male side. The female, some females, if you bring it to their attention, if you're doing it, that's fine. She hits, hey, I made it. I'm leaving, because mine do it all the time. I made it. I'm leaving. I'll be there in a minute. You know, do we need anything before I get there? That's one thing. But I've also been around females that say, he know where I'm at. He know it's gonna be 3 hours, 2 hours, an hour, and I'll be home when I get home. They don't feel like they have to do that check-in. They feel like that's checking in. And a lot of women today feel like that's too much control. And I'm going by what they tell me. When I spoke about the topic, one or two was like, no, because if he providing and he's being there like that, that's going to lead to him being controlling. And I don't want nobody controlling me. I'm not ready for submission.
Well, don't put yourself.
They want a good man. They want a man, and they want a real man, and they want a real husband. But when it's time for him to say, well, hey, babe, I don't think you need to wear that going out, it's a problem. Or if he say, I don't feel like you need to be hanging with this person this time of night, it's a problem. You know what I'm saying? They want to hang with a single friend. It's a and he say, well, I don't think you and her need to be out at the club at 12 and 1 o'clock at night. Now you the dad. But like I explained on the last one, it's a thin line between a wife and a mother and a husband and a father, because you owe them explanations. And a lot of women, when everybody want to say they grown when it's something they want to do. So that's the situation that you fall in when we say they want a real man, they want a real husband, but like Prince said in Purple Rain, they want a leader, but they can't seem to make up their mind. They don't know, they want to turn on the light switch. Okay, you're a leader today. I'll listen today. And they want to turn it off when it's something they want to do. And so they fight that male who say, well, you don't need to be wearing
well, again, I mean, you have to know the first of all, the type of woman that you're getting or that you have. And the thing is, if your woman or your dude doesn't have respect for you, then they're going to take that in a negative way, versus saying that this person is looking out for me because he or she has my best interest at heart.
Right.
So
and I agree. But so many brothers come to me when I say that you're saying, and they say, but man, hey, she grown, bro. But then I was like, but that's how she respects you. And then they be like, everybody ain't gonna be like my woman, or everybody's not gonna be like yours. But at the end of the day, I'm all about respect. And if I'm not getting that respect, then I don't feel like I need to be in that situation. So, but a lot of guys say, and I wouldn't say his name, but every now and then he'll post something before he got out of his relationship. They're not together now, but he didn't have any, I don't want to say control. I don't know really what word, but she didn't respect their relationship. And you know, and he eventually got out of it. You know what I'm saying? He got strong enough to get out of it. I think they got a child together now, but he got out of it, but he couldn't do nothing because it started out where she was texting, you know, I'm leaving the house. I made it. I'm about to leave. You know, everything was perfect at first, but after their like second or third year dating, she kind of shied away from doing all of that. And like I said, they eventually broke up. I don't know. All I know is the child was involved, but she didn't really respect him in that relationship because she felt like her terms when he was saying, where were you last night at 11:30 when I tried to call you? And she was like, I'm grown.
Well, again,
I don't have to tell you.
When that starts to happen, then you have to try to identify what the issue is. So if it started out one way and then it switched eventually, then there's something else going on other than her just not wanting to be controlled. There's always a root cause to behavior, especially when behavior changes.
I think that when you're dealing with somebody that, and you're in a relationship with somebody, you can't operate like you're single. Singleness as an individual. Now you singleness as in marriage status, but it's singleness as an individual.
Now on the pool,
that person.
I had to learn.
You have to know and understand, hey, I gotta answer to this person because this person is in my life. And whatever happened, that person needs to know that if a woman from the sense of a man's, and she says, I don't tell you where I go, my whereabouts, and something happened to you, then you get mad telling us we ain't men. You ain't no real man. We don't know what you're doing. You cannot protect something you don't control. If you got children, your children come outside, you tell your children parameters in which they can go in the yard, they can't go across the street. Why are you doing that? Because it's out of love. You control your children. You control what you love.
Well, women don't like to do that word control.
And that's why
women don't like that word.
And that's why a lot of them are single. Because you don't want a man to tell you what to do, but if something happened to you, then you want to come down on all men telling us we ain't this, we ain't that, we ain't shit. Because you want to do what you want to do, not understanding that the two natures are different. You can't do. Even if I'm married or I'm in a relationship with somebody, it's my responsibility to check in with my mate and say, hey, baby, I'm going to such and such and such. Even if I'm dealing in a relationship with my partners and we doing business. If I'm rolling with Fat Boy and say, hey, Fat Boy, hey, man, I'm going to go run to the store, be back in about 15 minutes. I'm going to such and such store, and I'm in Bastrop. If anything happens, Fat Boy know where I'm at.
All right.
I told him, hey, he don't control, we partners. You don't control me. It's for the safety of those in the individual. So if something happened to you.
Of the women today, they want good men. They want, I'm not gonna say good. They want a protector. They want a provider. They want love.
Privacy.
They want all of that, but
they want convenience.
Don't want him to
convenience and pliancy.
They
want pliancy. They want you to be flexible. They don't want you to be they really don't want you to be no man. They just need somebody in the house. They're having sex with. They don't want to be by themselves, but don't tell them what. But if something happened to them, then you ain't this, you ain't that, you ain't no real man. But
You
I
wasn't
don't know
there
where you
for me.
at.
You didn't protect me.
there for
those,
me.
You
those,
wasn't
But we
there
don't
for
even
me.
know.
those
We
type
don't
of
even know
women
what happened.
and
to you.
those type of relationships. That's why they do it, because there is no respect there. Because
Right.
that's not really what they want. If they just
Right.
have somebody in the house that they just kicking it with, laying up with, then there's no respect there. They're just
Right.
there to fill a space, so
Right.
they don't
Jay,
feel committed
Jay,
or
do you think?
connected to
you-
want to care enough or respect them enough to provide information on what they're doing, where they're going, or to accept constructive criticism on whatever it is, whether it's clothes or whatever it is.
Right. Do you think by default, if a woman loves a man or a man loves a woman, do you think default is understood? I'm gonna check in with my husband, or I'm gonna check in with my wife or girlfriend.
It's not
Because-
a default. It's not a default.
No. I'm saying about you. It should be something that's. Let me make it clear. It should be something that's understood that that's what you do. I can't up and leave when I got somebody that's living with me.
It is.
I can't
it
up
is-
and leave and just not tell them where I'm going.
It
is
is
what I'm
a
saying.
desire. It is a desire to do so.
But
Okay.
but that seemed like something like I'm married. Being that I'm married, I'm always let my wife know where I'm going, or my wife gonna let me know. So that's automatic. But like girlfriend and boyfriend, I mean, unless you just serious,
Right.
you almost ain't. I mean, that's
And
kind of
that's
iffy there.
That's
Fat boy,
me. 'Cause I tell mine all the time. It's a difference. Things that I request as a husband, I
Yeah.
wouldn't request as a boyfriend.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
It's different levels. Just like they say, it's levels to the shit. It's different levels.
Yeah.
So you can't expect a girlfriend or boyfriend to do the same thing you require from a
Of your wife.
I'm gonna say someone you engage with that's living in your home.
Yeah.
That's some different level shit.
Cause
There
see,
are someone that you married with, but when I
sometimes the woman may want to be treated as if she a wife or a fiance of that person.
they
But
say that, but when it's something they want to do or something they don't want to do, they show you that and say, "Ain't no ring on this finger."
Right.
When I get a
Yeah.
ring,
I see.
you want me
Lotus's
to be
note over
wife?
here.
You want me to be a girlfriend, but doing wifely duties?
Right.
A lot of them been saying that on social media lately. If you want me to
and
do
what she's
wifely
saying.
duties,
Oh,
then you need to put a ring on this finger.
Hold on.
Yeah, so
what
they-
you, hold
Now
on.
I see Lotus's note over here and her comment, and I understand you may be on the phone with a friend, and it may slip your mind and you forget. But are you? I mean, if you you're still married, you still have a relationship. So what is it that doesn't trigger in your mind to say, "Hey, let me go. Hey, girl, hold on a minute. Let me just text him and tell him I'm on the phone with you. I'm cool, and I talk to him in a minute, or I'll be home in a minute."
Okay, but my thing is, so we can't forget. We can't be busy trying to get in and out. Like, I done already told my husband where I'm going. 2-3 miles up the road. If I'm going further than that, cool. 30 minutes to an hour, and then I know I have to drive an hour back.
No, we
let your
agree
husband
with you
know.
on what you. We're
Most
with
accidents
you
happen
where-
within
Yeah,
5
we're
miles
just-
of the home.
But what you're saying was correct, Lotus. Is that what we're saying is what you're saying is correct, because you let your husband know where you're going. But you got women in this world that in relationships with men, married or if they're single or in a relationship, they don't want to tell their husband. They just want to up and go. Not
That-
understanding when you got somebody in your life, you gotta let people know what's going
Now
on.
that's
where you
not
headed.
okay, because
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
if you're any male or female leave the house and you're in a relationship, you need to know where they're going. How long you gonna be? Just like earlier, my husband was upstairs and I left. I said, "Babe, I'll be back in 10 minutes." I didn't want to tell him where I was going, because I was going to go get a surprise for him. He kept asking, "Where you going? Where you going?" "I'll be back in 10 minutes."
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's
So
something.
all the time,
ahead.
you're not gonna tell your mate where you're going. I do surprises for my husband all the time.
No, but
I-
you told him you was gonna be back in 10 minutes. So that's something that's totally different. You're gonna be back in 10
I mean,
minutes, but to up and leave.
I'm always giving an estimate of how long I'm gonna be gone. If
Right.
I don't call him and it's been over 30 minutes and I said I'll be back in 30 minutes, he calls me.
Right.
But see,
Right.
that's the relationship in marriage. That's how I am. I don't have to know exactly where my wife going, but long as she's, babe, I'm finna go here, whatever. I'm cool. Just let me know you're leaving so I can be
Right.
aware of you going somewhere.
Right.
That's the
right.
biggest thing.
Right.
But if you just in a but this marriage though.
Right.
But
right.
far as just a relationship, it just depends on the respect of the man and the woman.
But if you in a boyfriend and girlfriend relationship, before me and my husband got married, I was treating him like a husband before he became my husband. That's how you know whether or not you're gonna get that treatment when you get married. So if you in a girlfriend and boyfriend relationship and they disrespecting you, not following the rules, then hell, y'all together. So if we sleeping in the same bed, I'm gonna need to know where you at. So
But with that new breed, with the new breed, and I'm going by people I know. And like I say, they broke up a few months ago. I think they got a child. But yeah, they have a child. They have a child together. It was perfect in the beginning, and it just fell apart. And she was like, "I'm grown," and then he started making posts like, you know, people grown, they do what they do. You can't control another grown person, and all that. And I was like, I saw the relationship falling apart, but and it failed, and now they're co-parenting.
Well, again, that's you have to find out what the root cause was to cause that to stop. Like my girl and I, we share locations. We have a permanent share location on. Now, if her location goes off, then or she stops sharing, then something caused that. There was a reason for her to stop sharing.
Right.
But you just can't assume the worst. I mean, she might be out doing something for you. She might be at your favorite store picking up something for you. So location might go off. And I would tell mine, babe, my location finna go off for a couple minutes, but it ain't nothing to worry about. But that's when the assuming come in. Men like to assume, and it don't be anything but innocent.
No, what I'm saying is it's okay if it goes off for a few minutes or she lets me know. But if she said, "Hey, we're gonna stop sharing locations," just permanently stop sharing locations, then that's
cold game. That's cold game.
Yeah.
And then, we're not talking about
don't understand. What a lot of people don't understand about assuming when you don't know and they don't tell you, and you're a person that believe in cause and effect and action reaction. When you don't know, you're supposed to kind of put something together.
No, sir. You do not put nothing together if you do not have the facts.
And
right.
If you don't, and where that assuming comes in, assuming the negative, you don't have all the faith that you're supposed to have in your significant other.
Thank you.
That just shows that you have a lack of faith in them. So go ahead.
Go ahead, Jay. Finish up.
No, I was just saying. So you probably need to evaluate yourself or that relationship.
Okay.
Right.
Hey, now let's go. Okay, we dealt in the area. We want to in relationships as far as the general sense. Now I want to deal with aspects of finance and aspects of health. You in a relationship with somebody, you married to that person. Or you're in a relationship, committed relationship. Should that person know how you manage money? Is it important for
Of
you?
course.
Because that's a level of if a woman wants a man in her life, she got to know if this man is able to manage money. One thing that I know about Black that I tell anybody, Black know how to manage some bread.
And let me tell you something.
He know how to thing that I know dealing with him.
I did not know how to manage money. I was just spending on unnecessary things I did not need, things I wanted.
Right.
When I met my husband, he changed it.
Right, because he's responsible, and I know him. So, do you think that a woman? I'm gonna shoot this to Jay, and then we gonna have everybody else to kind of put they chime in. Luke, what's up, Luke? I see you, Luke. Luke, congratulations, man. I want to see my niece, man. I want to see my niece. I want to pose this to Jay. Jay, do you think it's important for a woman to know how you manage money in your when you're in a relationship?
It's important for both parties to know how they manage money in a relationship. That should be when you start getting serious and know that you're leading into something more permanent. Then that should be a discussion. That should be
one phase. What phase, Jay? What phase is the seriousness? What phase that should be that conversation should start? Marriage, engagement.
Whenever you feel like you all are about to start sharing in finances, meaning either moving in together, being engaged, looking towards marriage, then that should be a topic of discussion.
Okay, cool. That's what's up. Fat Boy, what you thinking, man?
I think they once you get to that fiance marriage status, or you get serious, that'll be a thing to talk about because y'all sharing funds anyway. Right. A man gonna make sure that his old lady nice and whatever. So the finances and dealing with the money, the financial part, they need to talk about that. It should be a discussion, like automatically. Don't go just wasting money on anything.
Right.
You know, make sure the priorities straight before you just spend. Priorities first.
That's what's up. I like that. Hey, Luke, you able to chime in with us, man, and kind of add it in. If not, you can just keep listening to us. You can just chime in and let me know, or hit us in the chat, and just make your comment if you can't talk. Black, what you thinking about finances? Because you're a big component on the financial aspect. You get on me about my spending habits and the things I do, because I know that I think finances is the leading thing that's in divorce, is that people don't know how to manage money, and it's not something that's really addressed in a relationship. So what are you thinking on the aspect of finances and how important it is to you?
Managing money and how the money is spent within the household is, to me, it's the first priority.
Right.
So I don't believe in unnecessary spending. I don't believe in living above your means, though we both like nice things. Yeah. We're going to get those nice things within our means.
Right.
So, the finances is very important. And that is like the number one cause, I believe, of divorce. Number two falls with sexual issues, but I think finances still rank like number one.
Yeah.
Especially if it's two, I'm gonna say alpha male, alpha female that's trying to achieve, have goals they're trying to meet. So yeah, I do feel like finances is top, and you can teach someone how to build their finances, because I was a financial consultant for quite a few people, and you would be amazed on how much money they saved when they realized how much unnecessary spending they were doing. So yeah, I'm a firm believer of that just because I was a financial coach. So
Right.
yeah, that's very important. And if you have a mate that agrees with you and willing to adjust the spending habits, it's a beautiful relationship. But then you
Right.
get many, like I know a guy right now who's in a relationship, they're living together, and her money is her money, his money is his money.
Right.
And she reminds him regularly, that's my money. He'll say, well, why did you buy this? We didn't need that. Hey, who money is it? But
Right.
that's the relationship he choose to be in. So, but
But
yeah.
don't you think that conversation should be what is it though, Black, that those type of conversations have to be discovered in the course of the relationship and not really talked about in the beginning?
A lot of times they don't talk about it.
Help me with that. Is it because I don't want to run this person off, or by talking about finances, or
It's similar to what Fat Boy said. Fat Boy said when you start trying to get serious,
yeah,
that's a serious topic.
yeah,
How are we gonna spend this money? How are we
right,
gonna, we putting our money together, how are we gonna do that? What are we gonna, how are we gonna do it? We get paid this, you get paid that. How are we gonna do it where I have X amount of money in my pocket, you have X amount of dollars in your pocket after
right,
every pay period, or at the
right,
end of the month. So
right,
it doesn't be a discussion at the beginning. I think a lot of people be afraid to talk about it.
right, right,
Personally,
right,
I just think it's a
right,
topic that they try to stay away from. But then when they move in together and then bills start knocking up their head, and one of them short and one of them want to do something, but he done paid all the bills, or she want to do something and she didn't end up paying more on the bills, or she can't do what she want to do. That's when they come to the table and say, hey, these bills. So a lot of people don't discuss that at the beginning of the relationship. It's
right,
something that they get into once they're in that relationship, which could
right.
be 2-3 months up the road. When it's a bump in the road, that's when it's an issue.
Let me ask this: dealing with the control, uh, how would you go about with finances if your spouse is reckless with finances?
I'm gonna let Austin. I'm gonna put my piece, but I'm gonna let Austin. Then I want Fat Boy to chime. The way I feel about that is, long as it don't affect the household and what we're trying to accomplish as a whole, I really don't care what you do with your money. But it's when it affects the household that I have a problem with. Like if we trying to get something, or we got a bill due, and I done spent money getting this and the bill is due, and then you go and spend it somewhere else, that's the only time that I have an issue with it. But once you are on the same page, you and your spouse, you and your mate on the same page, is lovely. It's like she know what she's doing, he know what he's doing, and they come together and make it happen. You got to be on the same page in the relationship. You can't be I know I got this bill due, but I want this speaker. I know I got this bill due, but I want these Adidas. I want these Yeezys. My mind got to be focused on, I got to keep my eyes on the prize.
Right.
And if my portion of funds contribute to the prize, it is what it is. Because I'm a firm believer in whatever I need and whatever I want is going to come when I take care of my needs. So
Right.
I'm a needs first person. I'm going
Right.
to take care of my needs. My shoes going to come, my music equipment going to come, my trips going to come, my vacations, all of that's going to come. But I want to be comfortable in my household where when I wake up every morning, there's no worries. I'd rather pay all my bills every month and not have $200 left to my name till I get paid again, which
It's called good broke. That's called good broke.
I
'Cause
want to
you
be
got
good.
everything too. Yeah, that's
I
that,
want to
that's
be
when you're
good. Bro.
taking care
So
of everything.
I made like earlier today. I was looking at some Nautica and different things that I'm looking to get, but I don't need it.
Right.
So I don't get a lot of my wants a lot of times when I want them because I don't need them. So I'm gonna make sure everything's good. I chill. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not no necessity. If it's not a necessity, I really don't move on it until I kind of want to. You know what I'm saying? So
Right. Right. Right.
I
You
just feel
good.
like
You good
everybody,
at that. You good at
yeah,
that. Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
on one accord, I feel like it's great.
Yeah. You good
It's
at that.
when you trying to build and come up and your mate is on something totally different than you. Y'all playing tug of war. I feel like that's when it's a financial
Right.
issue that's going to turn to a struggle, which is going to turn to a decision on
Right.
what y'all need to do. Should we,
Right.
I mean, because like you say, finances is like the number one cause
It
of
is.
divorce. Then I think it's sex, infidelity, so finances is number one.
Right. Right. Let me ask this. We're gonna move into the realm of health. As far as a person's health disposition. If you got some that individuals that are having children, you're having a family, you want to build a family. How important is it for you all to know the health status of your mate, and should the husband or the wife does she have a right to ask those health questions?
Yes and no.
Well, it depends on what part of the relationship you're in. So when I first met this one person and she stated that she wanted to have kids, I had to tell her right up front that, hey, I've had a vasectomy, so we're not going to be able to have kids. And then eventually I had a vasectomy reversal, but I had to provide her that information up front because she was upfront about what she wanted. If there are, and as you start to move on in your relationship, then yes, that person should know whatever your health status is, especially if you're married, because that affects the household and how that person is going to be able to conduct or be prepared to conduct anything, conduct the household should something occur. And they will be prepared for whatever comes about. So, especially if you're married, any situations that of sickness or health should be discussed, talked about, or disclosed.
Right.
And because again, it affects everyone that's involved, especially if
Right.
you have kids.
That's good. That's good, Jay. That's good. I like
Let's go
that.
to Lotus said that
Yeah.
it depends. Let's elaborate on the let her
Yeah. Go ahead.
elaborate on the depends.
Yeah. Yeah. Lotus, go ahead. What was you saying on the depends part?
As far as the health, it depends on what's wrong.
Okay.
Let's say my situation. I'm not gonna tell my husband everything
Okay.
because it's stressful. It will stress him out. It will worry him. I don't want my husband worried. He knows what's wrong with me,
Right.
but if I
Okay.
go to the doctor and get bad news, I don't want to stress him. I'm gonna handle it. If I can't handle it, then I'll come to him. But I'm not gonna stress him.
Oh, let me put this in proper context, Lotus. We're speaking in the beginning. You all have been together for a while now. That's different. In the beginning, dealing in a relationship, how would you discuss the health? Hey, this is what I got going on with myself, so you will know because your mate needs to know what's going on with you. Do you have any issues with high blood pressure, diabetes, anything of that nature, so they know how to deal with that?
I mean, what you dealing with? If it's early in the relationship,
No,
what
I'm
are you
saying
doing?
yeah. If you in a relationship with someone, you building a family, and you want to have a family, you want to have children, things of that nature. It's important to know the health status of one another, how to deal.
I don't know, because that can scare a man away. I can't be with nobody sick.
Well, if that person is right for you, you're not gonna scare that man. That's
So
what the
why
conversation
would you
is
take
about.
that chance?
Because you need to know.
In the
You
end,
need to know. Yeah, you
in
need
the
to know.
end, whether he knows up front or
Yeah.
afterwards, then they still not gonna be with you.
Right.
If you end up finding out, then they be saying, "Hey, you
But
deceived
my
me."
deal, my thing on that.
Yeah, go ahead. Black.
My thing on that is from personal experience, and being that my sister was so blunt with it, that's why it's so fresh on my mind. I never cared to be with anyone that was I'm gonna say terminally ill or whatever, breast cancer, different things like that. And God, the creator, made it where, you know, since you don't want to be with that, I'm gonna give you that. But the deal was, in the beginning, that can frighten a person off, whether it's male or female, because when you're young and doing your thing, and then someone comes to you and say, "Hey, I got diabetes," and that's somebody that you're thinking about getting in a relationship with, and they say, "Hey, I got bad diabetes. I have to take insulin shots. I have to do that." Are you willing at that time to put everything on hold and be that diabetes person?
Right.
Be that CNA or whatever they call it. Are you willing to put the shots? You just
I kind of think that's something that can wait.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't put that out there at the beginning.
Yeah,
because the
you
young
want
me,
a person to love you for who you are instead of your condition.
yeah. But on the same note, I understand what Austin them saying is that person has to know, kinda, but I wasn't a person you needed to tell that to, because I didn't have a mature mind to accept that, because I was wild. So if you told me at 25, 26, 30 years old that you got high blood pressure and you taking high blood pressure pills, or you got diabetes and you need insulin shots, I'm gonna sit there like, hell, I gotta be the one administrating these, and that's not what I want to do right now. And I'm gonna get out of that relationship. That actually happened.
But that's what relationships are about. You're gonna deal with the ups and downs.
At the beginning, though, you said at the beginning,
yeah,
you have that choice on if that's what you want to do.
Right.
And at that time, when that got dropped on me, it wasn't what I wanted to do. Now, when you're in a relationship and y'all have developed friendship, loveship, that bond, those feelings, that's different. They get cancer, stage 2 cancer. You the cancer doctor. You know what I'm saying? You the transportation to the doctor. You know, you looking at cancer. You looking at cancer charts. So you become a cancer expert because you love that person and y'all been together. But at the beginning, you have to decide if this really what I want to get into.
Want to do.
And I was wild. You know what I'm saying? I didn't calm down to 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I'm doing my thing. So if you come to me, oh, I'm gonna need insulin shots, oh, I need to go to the doctor every 3rd week. I'm like, well, hey, I'm probably gonna be tired from the club. So I ain't even gonna get into that. I'm like, no, and it may be the best relationship that I'll ever probably be in. But on the same note, I ran. Oh yeah, I had my track shoes on when you was coming with me with that. But that comes with maturity.
Yeah, and I'm asking these questions because it's real. This is life. This is what we deal with in individuals. is the finances. We're dealing with their health. We're dealing with every aspect of them. Now, let me ask this. When you're in a relationship with somebody and you dealing in an intimate setting, sexual relationship, the sexual aspect, how important is a sexual aspect? Is a sexual aspect a deal breaker? Is it a make or break type deal? And I'm gonna start with Fat Boy, and then I'm gonna go around to Jay, Lotus, and then Black. You tape it off.
I honestly think it means a lot in a relationship.
Right.
Because if a man, it's like if you have a faithful man, if your man being faithful, your woman being faithful, and you not giving them that, what they can't go, they not supposed to go nowhere else and get it.
Right.
So with that being said, it's like whether you want to or not, man or female, male or female, you got to make something happen
Right.
for your spouse or your significant other to be satisfied.
Right.
And however you do it, it don't matter, but make sure your significant other is satisfied sexually.
Right.
Because I feel like that right there, I remember Black said it earlier, like finances, then sex.
Right.
That does start a lot of divorces because that starts a lot of cheating. If you're not getting it at home, you can only be faithful for so long, I feel like.
Right.
If you're not getting that at home, eventually you're going to step out. And who fault is that? I mean, even though you're grown and you have your own decisions to make, it's kind of hard for a male or female.
Right.
So we all human.
Right. That's heavy. Jay, what you thinking, man? Is sex a very important aspect of relationship for its survival?
Well, as I have grown in experience and life experience, I have found that the intimacy and the connection between the two is more important than the sexual relationship.
Right.
You can, if you've been together long enough, you know how to sexually please your partner.
Right.
You know their do's and their don'ts. You know all of those things that turn them on and turn them off.
Right. And
I don't care, you can be the greatest love in the world. Sometimes it's gonna be good, sometimes it's gonna be okay. But if your relationship is built on more than just a relationship or just based on sex, then you can survive that because you have another piece called intimacy that can fill some of that void of the sexual nature.
Right, man. That's heavy. Lotus, what you thinking? Is it for you? Is intimacy or sexual health? Is it important in a relationship?
It's important, but if your mate, husband, wife fall ill, just like what Fat Boy say, I totally disagree with that. If you step out cheating, who fault is that? Yours. Sex is that damn important to you? It don't even supposed to be like that. What if your mate got sick and couldn't have sex with you for 2 or 3 months? Would you just gonna go cheat on her?
That's a different situation though.
Yeah, that's different.
That's totally different.
I mean, even if she wasn't sick, some people just don't feel like doing it.
I mean, that's understandable too. But at the same time, if you have it's something. No matter how you go about it, it's something. Whether it don't have to just be intercourse sexual. It can be anything.
Right.
To make that male or that female feel that void.
How about a hug?
Right.
Hug good enough.
Right,
I mean,
but that's
it
that's where
depends.
that
It
communication
depends on
come
the
in.
type of hug.
Yeah, yeah.
You see
I
what I'm
don't
saying?
think sex should be that important. It's not that serious. I have to please you through sex for you to like me more.
It
No,
ain't about it's not that important. It's just a point of. That's a
right,
part of a relationship. If that's the case, you'll go marry somebody that you're not into, period.
right,
That can just provide for you.
right,
It has to be some sex, regardless of sex is a big thing, big part of a relationship because
relationship.
when you get to that guy or you get to that female, it's gonna be something that leads you to him. And 9.5 times out of 10, it ain't gonna be because he can count from 100 backwards. It's gonna be some sexual physique or the way this woman walk or
Right,
something. It's gonna be something sexual that leads you to her 9 times out of 10.
right.
Okay, so what about the women that's not having sex until marriage?
No,
They know that at
You ain't
first.
gonna find too
right.
many.
Yeah, they
You ain't
gonna
gonna find
go,
too many of them.
they gonna go.
But see, that's something that they gonna talk about at the beginning. That's something that you speak on in the
Right,
beginning.
right,
Like, I want to be celibate until I get married. I want to keep myself until I get married.
right,
If you into that woman, you gonna respect that.
right. That's right.
That's gonna be respected up front once
Okay,
she lay that out there.
Right. And
the
that
key thing, the
conversation
key
gonna be
thing
had
in
in the
that,
beginning.
that
Go
I'm gonna
ahead,
say to
Black.
both of them about
Yeah.
the sex thing. Um, I agree with what everybody's saying. Relationships shouldn't be based on sex, but sex does play over 60% part of a relationship. And when I say that, I'm not saying everyday sex. I'm saying good sex.
Right.
Terrible sex and lack thereof is the number 2 bench pressing number 1 reason for infidelity, divorce, separation. So it plays a part. And if you're not that into sex, you have to find a mate that's not as into
That's
sex.
compatible. Yeah, that's
Because if
compatible.
you're with a nympho who wants it, and Lotus and I both know someone who was a nympho, and they were married and they're separated and about to get divorced, if not divorced today. Because if she wants it all the time and he don't, there's a problem. So as much as we want to say sex is not an important part of a relationship, we're all lying. That's the biggest lie that anyone can tell. It don't need
Right.
to be the vocal part or point of your relationship, but it's a very important part, because if the sex is not good and that person you're with likes or used to good sex, they're eventually gonna go elsewhere. So you have to
I'll tell
find.
you like this. I'd rather have a faithful, committed woman than a woman that just has this awesome sex. Because
Then,
my
yeah,
heart,
boy.
I
Hold
want
on,
my
hold on.
heart to be protected, and I want to protect her.
I mean, and
And
that's me.
I'm gonna get my
Right.
nut whichever way it comes. However we do it.
But that's us. I agree with that. But on the
That's
same
agreeable.
note,
But yes, sir.
if you look at majority of the relationships,
Right.
if you find you one who's not blown away, but with all this, like Grizzle was telling me the other day, Fana was telling how they got videos of women showing how to ride and how to turn around and how to do this.
Right.
Then you
Right.
got people that, like Kevin Gates and them, that's preaching that threesome shit. So
Right.
it's just a lot of stuff going on. So a lot of
Right.
people, it's a sex society. Like I say on damn near every podcast, it's a sex society. People
Yeah.
are into sex. So when you're mature, like I guess Lotus, Austin, myself, and even Fat Boy, but when you're mature, you see things different. It's not about the sex.
Right.
When you didn't have sex since 12, 13, 16, however long you've been sexing, it's not about the sex. But think about that person that didn't start having sex till he was 17, 18 years old, 20 years old, and now he's 35. He gonna want sex because he was a late bloomer. I call those late bloomers. They didn't
That's a
start
lot.
having sex until they were old. And so and then they coming up in this sex society, so all they're gonna want is sex. But if you've been there, or you're a woman who value your body and believe your body is your temple, which very few do today. But if you came up, you caught that 80s, 70, 80, 95 and under baby, you still have values. But the 96 and up babies, they don't have as much value about their bodies as the earlier. So it doesn't matter.
Right.
So sex does play a major role, but like Austin say and Lotus say, it shouldn't be the focal point of your relationship.
Right.
But it is important, like Fat Boy say, because you just never know. But once you and your mate come together and you see she's not about that, because this guy didn't find out his was a nympho until I think once they got married. And she was like, hey, I got to have it and you not coming with it. So we're going to have to work something out.
Right.
So it just depends on, once again, that depends on your mate. And those are discussions and things you need to see before you go to that next level, before you go to the we're engaged, before you go to the we're engaged and living together, before you go to we're married. You have to look at all of that. Because if he wants it 24/7 and you only want to do it, he wants it 5 days a week and you only want it once or twice every 2 weeks, that's unbalanced. And like Fat Boy say, if you're not fulfilling that need, then people tend to go elsewhere. And I've seen a lot of females, a lot of them come to me and talk. A lot of males come to me and talk.
Females come and talk.
They're not there.
Right.
So when it's not there, they tend to go elsewhere, especially the new breed. Because
what these females be talking about?
They talk about it. They not getting it. They not happy. They're not being satisfied. And it's a lot of them. They're not reaching an orgasm. That's the new talk. Women faking orgasms. And that's where your roses and your all those other little gadgets
they're taking over.
Right.
Come into play. So it's like they're not being satisfied. And I think that's the reason it's so much cheating, so much infidelity, so many single women, they're not being satisfied. And them younger guys that back in the day, a younger guy was the one they used to praise. But hell, from what I'm listening to and seeing, hell, they getting off in 2-3 minutes. So it's like it's wild. It's crazy out there right now.
Well, look, it comes down to this. So when you're not sexually satisfied by your partner, whether you're not getting an orgasm or whatever it may be, so then that's when a discussion comes in. And if you know your body, you should know how to direct your partner on how to please you.
Right.
Now, if they're coming up short, or whatever it is, a dry, then you may have to do some different stuff. They got to do for that.
Right.
You better learn how to have a strong neck and work your tongue or whatever it is to help your partner get off. But there are ways around certain things. If your relationship is actually built on love and caring.
Right. Like I said, that's maturity. So yeah, like I say, and I preach to, because the beauty can fade. The sex can fade. Because like Lotus said, what if you're sick? What if you don't feel like it? What if you're tired? Does that give that mate probable reason to go off and mess with somebody else? Which we both know right now, couple that got divorced, couples that are separated, couples that ended their relationship because one wanted sex more than the other, and they dipped off and went and got it elsewhere when the other one couldn't produce.
Right.
So you have to pick you a mate
That's
that
compatible.
loves you. When that love is in there,
Yeah.
sex isn't an option because you understand, baby tired, baby don't feel good, and then you block that shit out. You may be horny as a goat, but you block it out because that's your friend, that's your mate, that's your lover, that's your wife, that's your husband. You block that shit out like shit. We as long as we together, we can sex again, whether it's tomorrow, whether it's next week. So you don't see it the same. I feel like when you like Austin say, when you genuinely love that
someone.
person,
Yeah.
sex doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. When you genuinely love that person, their health really doesn't matter because y'all are there together to take care of each other. You're there. Whether it's vows involved or not, for better off or worse, richer off poor. But when that's your best friend, or that's your lover, or someone you love and you living with every day, and like I tell her, I have to, if I have to choose between her, who I'm living with, come home with every day, and then have to choose someone in the streets or family member or whatever, I don't have to see them every day.
Right.
I don't. My world, when I wake up, I don't have to see them. When I move around, I don't have to go around them.
Right.
So that doesn't matter to me. But that took maturity. A lot of people are not
mature enough.
Yeah, it's a maturity stage.
Right.
And until it's a certain level. That's why I preach. It's levels to this shit.
Right.
You just not gonna wake up and know all of this or feel this, because I didn't. It took me forever to get into a serious relationship and understand what it takes to maintain a serious relationship. And it's levels. I may think I was good, I was this, I was that, but I was terrible because it's levels.
Right.
You know, and so it just takes maturity. That sex, the health, finances. You're gonna do what you can to make everything work when you're a unit, when you're a team, when you work together. It's that separate thing
and I think at the core, not to cut into, go ahead, and not at the core is why I ask those questions, because you say why most women say they want a real husband and fight against them, because a lot of times these aspects of something is not being fulfilled sexually, is not being fulfilled probably on the health level, or financial level. See, because even some people, you probably deal with as a man, you probably deal with a woman that her whole demeanor is predicated on you taking care of the business in the house. If she's not easy in the mind, she don't know if the bill's getting paid, she don't know what's happening, that can have her shy away and buck your authority, because it shows that you're not effective as a man. So yeah, a woman, she'll listen to a real man that's taking care of their business. But if you don't have that aspect down of taking care of your business, making sure the lights on, the bills paid, then you can have problems with that woman in the household. And say happy life, happy wife.
I was feeling you until you said
house spot.
I feel like happy spouse, happy house.
Happy house. Now,
that's
even in the health,
she gonna be happy too. Because if the male, I feel like if the male is happy, he's gonna make sure his wife is happy. Right. So happy spouse, happy house. The happier the man, the man is, the more he's gonna do to make sure that wife or that girlfriend or that fiance is happy. So it's happy spouse, happy house. Don't
that's a
fall
good
on that happy wife, happy life shit, because I done
I
seen
get it.
a whole lot of brothers go
Right.
under trying to be happy wife, happy life, and they had a bad life. So no, it got to be spouse,
We got you.
happy
We
house.
got you. Now
Okay.
we finna get ready to land this plane, man. I got the landing gear open. We see the runway. We getting ready to land this plane. I just want to appreciate everybody. I want to appreciate Fat Boy, Lotus, Jay Austin, myself, and DJ Black for coming on the call, and Luke for coming on the call. And we, praying that doing good. I know he's on daddy duties, and congratulations to him on his baby girl, beautiful baby girl.
Hey,
And
Thursday,
appreciate
we're
him.
gonna jump it off.
Right.
We're moving it from Wednesdays to Thursdays starting next week. It's gonna be Thursdays next week. We're gonna move it from Wednesdays to Thursday, and same time. And then we're gonna see what's going on with Facebook because they're up and down right now. But yeah, once again, we like to thank everybody for tuning in, especially Lotus and Fat Boy and the panel, Austin, Phantom J, and we doing what we do.
Yes,
but we're gonna keep the topics coming. We had a lot of guests lined out tonight. They inboxed me, different things was going on because it's hard on Wednesdays. So what we're gonna do, I told everybody we'll move it to Thursday, and that way they'll have their schedules a little bit more free and flexible because it's people that wanting to chime in, but hey, I'm at work. They got me working late. I'm still here. So I'm gonna move back. We originally started on Thursdays.
Yeah, we
but
did.
We're gonna start back on Thursday, starting next week. So you'll see the promotion and the topics. And feel free to inbox us on different topics that y'all feel like need to be discussed, whether it's relationships, whether it's streets, whether it's parenting, whatever is going on. If it's happening, we want to speak on it. So tune in. Austin, you have any closing words?
Well, I just want to say
about speak on the men, speak on the women not wanting the men to lead, because I didn't touch up on that.
Well, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
If you truly love, care, feelings for, then you're going to have respect for that person, male, female. You're going to respect runs both ways. So you don't have an issue with them trying to lead and you following. That's not an issue. The issue comes in when you just have someone there just to be there. Right. So if you're running into that issue, then you need to look at your relationship. And that's one of the topics that I'm putting out there that we need to talk about. When is it time to leave? So,
okay, cool.
So again, if you're feeling disrespected, it's probably because you're not being respected.
Mm-hmm. Right. Exactly. And I appreciate that, man. We want to just thank everybody for just coming out, man. And like we said, we're moving on Thursdays. We're gonna have the news. We're gonna have it all, and keep moving. People are getting some responses. Like you said, a lot of people they work doing on Wednesdays, but a lot of people seeing the podcast. A lot of people are seeing the replays and telling us that we're doing pretty good, and they like the show. So we just want to thank everybody that's been watching the show. And they say that we funny, and especially when me and Black get into it. But we ain't got into it in a minute. But
I'm gonna get you next week.
Right.
Did Lotus want to have any final words? Fat Boy, Lotus.
Yeah. Any one of you
about the topic?
Oh no.
Okay. What about you, Fat Boy?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Man, Fat Boy, thank you for coming out, man. Thank you for chiming in, bro. You always welcome to come on, man.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. I enjoy him when he on there. I like his
Yeah.
views. Good.
Yeah, I'm gonna have the facts on that. Dealing with the fight, and I'm gonna kind of continue.
Touch up on it on the next.
Yeah, touch up on
Yeah.
it next one when I got everything
Okay.
together. With y'all know.
That's good.
For sure.
All right,
Yeah.
we out.
Black. So what we doing?
We spoke on it.
We
It's
spoke on
happening.
it.
We might as well speak on it.
Peace, everybody.
We out.
All right.
We out.
Next week, Thursdays.